Hello everybody. Today's episode is a story of how Kerbals went to step on the moon for the first time. It was a long time ago, way before the invention of toasters. They continue to tell this story to each other to remind that everything is possible, even if it's not. All began with Jebediah and Bob. Bob really loved wasting money and time at stupid things, and Jebediah also. During a discussion, they looked at the moon and said, so a few days later, they took a plane to the launching base, because of course a lot of Kerbals decided to make big explosives here, but it turned out that those can also be used as rockets. On the road, they talked about the stuff that they had to know for the trip: the color of a white horse, the taste of petrol, the date of invention of Xbox 4. So we have the landing gear, though. It's extract of the historical document, so I don't have all the credits. The credits go to Inilov number, but I just stole it to make a report. Not a report, a documentary. They went close to landing. And then they landed. When they landed, a little car was there to take them to the rocket. Nothing big, but it was enough for some kilometers. Yes, Kerbals do use kilometers and not feet, because feet are not practical and they don't have the same size of feet than us. So this little car was used only by them and for them, because it was not very sure, so not everybody used that. But you can see the rocket on the background, they needed to go there. So Jebediah came first into the car and then Bob followed him. He climbed the ladder, came into the car that was moving because they forgot to put the brakes on, and it turned and went straight through the light up to the rocket. It was not this long because the car was very fast, too fast for them to look at the land. Then Bob and Jebediah had to climb into the cabin. After many hours of climbing, because they are really slow, they were ready for the launch. So we have one extract of all the images. So, this season roughly when it was. Well, so we have to see on the there he was in his area. Here, such that we're in the and the rocket launch. We have a nice view. It's a historical moment. Just take it into your mind. No, comes there you. Wish to come. Here to come. Yeah, I'll take over the leaves and it's half years that. Whoa. The motors turned a little bit because the rocket was twisting. They don't knew how to get it right at the right angle, but finally, with a little bit of help from they could just fly great. Enough specific. When yeah. Royal. Så rysnet lite zi. Om jag också måste tro mot net som var. Och i mig was. Långa med något as du så där. Och när jag. Och is. Ja för your. Nästa just så rysnet av det var det. Skal rest snäcka till sin stuff blue as well self no ja. Och snummer till this lobby snäcka. Ja för mig imzaki. They got in orbit just a minute after. During this time in the space station, no resources felt is not one, at failure in needs as this no. Is when this is such limited, the Macus need this of Bennet yourself, wounded ya. When he says it no. Nordnashkinum trust Lucy one. This rocket just turned out, and they went pretty quickly around the moon. Their trajectory was limit. Revoir. Numerous more shells with no modernist is victor in Northern Shire Kirishner. There is that echo of the office and on get it. Let's go missing. After long hours of pushing buttons, reading post-its, and wondering why, Jebediah and Bob finally came close to the moon's surface. Nothing references it to upset. said Royer, which was Royosne and Miat Rocher of Nok, that Nashne is written as in the name as new video, right? This is not which to see Rolla. But this year still, the rock says it, but empty. After a long descent, they finally got it right and landed on the moon. Another historical moment for Kerbals. And by the way, they completely forgot to open the solar panels and the antennas. But the engineers predicted that and put some more batteries in the rocket. When jag någon sån styr det is det get in the högst det enormous rewards vi är sharp missing it nu måste will really work it stand out for zone or else will we must what is that cool. They walked like that and jumped with their seats for long hours, but they finally had to go back home. They entered the cabin again and started the motor. After that, I will just make a video edit, because this thing is way too long for you to watch. It's just the same procedure as before. So, we have the moment where they just came back into the cabin, so one by one on the same ladder, because they are too stupid to wait for their turn. And during this time the rocket was moving on the ground, because they don't have some brakes on the landing legs. Takeoff was not very nice. They had some issues with the second stage that don't want to start. And then we also forgot to just skip this escape tower at the landing. They just take this off right now instead of just taking this at the takeoff. But they are not engineers, so we can just forgive them. They started their re-entry burns and their orbital burns around the Earth with no problems. They had a quick, nice view on the window, the front window, so it was over their head. And we have the space station at the same moment. Then the cabin was just starting to make his re-entry with the stage, so they had to decouple this. They turned over, decoupled the second stage. It's not the second stage, but doesn't matter. It's a stage. And now they can start their re-entry. All was made by hitting the heat shield and waiting for the ship or the cabin to slow down. We can see the first heat shield of history. It was made exactly for this mission because they knew that Jebediah and Bob were not able to land correctly something, so they made it very secure. Det bättre var hos Nilskor Thomas Ladloshi William. Risto Hilly Reeves Trust. There is no ringing or stroke for. He had to think he was smart to was he was there. At the same time, the ground control was waking up. Someone told that knows what knows lobby and not start the here, she was zero feeder. So they prepared some plane and prepared themselves to get this mission back. Jebediah said, "We are no Slipia. Whereas he lived in Gothic, Snowsus North, the Earth with Slusher, Nimbus, North Air, faster one, sister on Schiffer, right? Events were. So the cabin started his long descent. They played at cards at this time. Because it was too long, like 10 minutes waiting, they just took a poker game and just played some poker. I can say now that after the landing, the rescue mission took off to make his job, rescue their pilots.